The long emergency refers to the predicted period of chaos in the world caused by a mix of ecological, economic, and geopolitical crises. James Kunstler, an author and social critic, popularized the concept in his book of the same name. The book was published in 2005, and since then, the idea of the long emergency has gained attention from scholars, policymakers, and the general public, with some people even believing that we have already entered the long emergency. To understand the long emergency, it is imperative to understand Kunstler's perspective on the interconnectedness of the ecological, economic, and geopolitical challenges facing the world. According to Kunstler, the depletion of fossil fuels, the decline in food production, and the consequences of climate change will lead to social, economic, and political disruptions that will be felt around the world. While some of these challenges are already emerging evident, their possible consequences and interactions have not yet been fully realized. One of the primary drivers of the long emergency is the depletion of fossil fuels. As the world's population continues to grow, the demand for energy will only increase. At the same time, the finite nature of fossil fuels means that supplies will eventually run out. Kunstler argues that the world is overly dependent on oil and other fossil fuels, and that we have ignored the warnings about peak oil. That is, the point at which we reach the maximum rate of oil extraction. He suggests that we need to transition away from fossil fuels to alternative energy sources immediately to prevent a catastrophic disruption in the world's economy. Another significant driver of the long emergency is the decline in food production. Climate change has altered weather patterns and reduced the productivity of agricultural lands. Water scarcity and soil degradation also impact crop yield. A growing population, rising affluence, urbanization, and climate change all exacerbate food insecurity. This trend leads to speculation about potential geopolitical crises, migration, and famine. The long emergency will also have significant geopolitical consequences. As traditional energy supplies decline, nations will compete for remaining resources. This competition will likely lead to political instability and even political conflict. The impacts of climate change, such as rising sea levels, droughts, and heat waves, can lead to mass migration, which can result in clashes and strife over both resources and territory. The long emergency can be viewed as a result of the convergence of various predicaments that are individually challenging enough but becomes even more severe when they compound. These predicaments include affordable and reliable access to energy and food,